Matt here, and this is day 13 of 30 days of intuitive eating, a journey of listening to and tuning into the body's natural wisdom so that we can ditch the diet and trust and allow and stop losing our freedom over how to relate to our food. We can simply enjoy it and savor it and eat in a way that is nourishing and healthy. So thank you so much for joining. Today on day 13, our intention is I am acceptance. I love this choice of wording as opposed to I am accepting, just like being the acceptance. I am a being of acceptance. I accept all that is here, and I am so excited to see what our host Megan has in store for us today as we learn about the diet mentality and how it shows up. And without further ado, let us just dive right in with our host Megan as she explores this intention with us today.
Hello and welcome back to Intuitive Eating Encouraged. Our intention today is to learn more about the diet mentality and how it shows up. And we're going to have an awesome little analogy for this. But first I want to repeat today's quote, which is, we don't create abundance. Abundance is always present. We create limitations. Michael Neal. I repeat this quote because while it can be true in all areas of life, it is true in all areas of life, really. Let's talk about it specifically with food, right? We've just talked about dieting and why they don't work, and it's usually because of all these restrictions, right? These limitations. And so after years of trying different diets and restricting yourself consistently, the brain starts to adopt many of these rules as your own, right? They see them as like, this is how you have to live now. You can't have carbs ever again. And if you do, you're a very bad person. You'll never lose weight. What's wrong with you for even wanting carbs, right? The brain takes all these dieting rules, and not only does it now think that you need to live by them, it creates these stories around them too. And what ends up happening is that we see a ton of limitations around food. So, this food's off limits, that food's off limits. I can't have this food until I lose weight. And we create all these rules around food itself. And it makes it seem like food is limiting, like it's gonna go away, like this is our last chance. And any time in life when we feel like this is our last chance to do something, we usually go overboard, right? We jump in with both feet without even thinking, like, this is my only time, my only chance to do this, like I'm gonna go crazy, right? And that's what happens with food, is that when we see it as when it's not abundant in our mind, right, when we see it as something that's limited and gonna go away, it's very easy to fall into the trap of let's eat a lot of it now because who knows when I'm going to get to eat it again, right? And so when we don't see food abundantly, that's what's happening. And that's kind of like why you might be binge eating occasionally or eating emotionally. And so how does this show up, right? I know for myself that I would binge on cookies because I felt it was my last chance, right? So I'd have one cookie and then I'd be like, oh no, I ate a cookie, right? What's wrong with me? I didn't want to eat this cookie. So then my thinking came up. And then I would say, well, you already ate a cookie. What's the point of trying to lose weight today? Might as well keep eating cookies and start fresh tomorrow, right? That's where my binge eating came from, right? So now I'm eating all the cookies. And it feels like this is it. I've always done this to myself. I tell myself, okay, you can have as many cookies as you want today because tomorrow cookies are out of your life. You are getting them out of the house. You won't bring them back in the house for months. You're going to lose this weight. You are going to buckle down, Megan, right? That's what I would do to myself. I don't know if you can relate to that. And so I would eat all the cookies, and then the next day, maybe for one full day I wouldn't have cookies, right? And then the second day I would go and eat more cookies, right? Because it didn't feel sustainable, or I felt deprived, or what's the point? Something happened in my life and this isn't fair, so let me go eat my cookies, right? And it just shows and proved to me every single time that the cookies weren't going anywhere. They were abundant, but my thinking, the limitations I was creating in my mind said that they were going away. They were going away and I was never going to let myself have them again, so this was my last chance, so I felt the need to overeat them. And so the limitations you're experiencing around food, anytime you feel like this is it, this is my last chance, right? Or anything along those lines of limitations around food, I want you to slow down and question, is this just thought created, right? Is this a real limitation? Or is this just an imaginary wall in my mind that I can just walk right through because it's an imaginary wall and food is actually abundant, right? Because if you really think about it, I'm not gonna say you, right? I only did this with junk food, right? I didn't do this with vegetables. I didn't do this with fruit. I didn't do this with healthy proteins, right? I didn't say this is my last chance to have a banana. Never said that. I didn't say this is my last chance to have broccoli. I need to go eat it all. Never said that to myself, right? But I say it with the junk foods because they feel bad and off limits and I'm a bad person for eating them. And with this mindset, I would then say, well, what's the point? I already started eating it. Might as well keep eating it. And then I'd cut them out of my life for as long as I could possibly cut them out for white knuckling through cravings for the foods I just like and wanted to eat. And eventually I would give in and eat it again. And that just shows that cookies and all food is technically abundant, and it's in our minds that we create these limitations around food. And that's all about today's lesson, right? Is noticing these limitations specifically around food, realizing that they are self-created, which means they can be uncreated by you, and that you don't have to live by them or react to them any longer. So in the moment, your goal is to notice your goal is to notice these limitations that you're creating them. And here's a super helpful analogy to do that, right? I was just talking about how I would, say like, this is my last chance for cookies, right? Or I just ate a cookie, I might as well eat more. So imagine you're driving down the road and you get a flat tire. What would you do, right? You'd probably like call a friend, have them come pick you up, call AAA. Maybe you know how to change a tire. You get out, you change the tire yourself, you put on a donut, and you drive to the nearest gas station to get a patch or whatever you do, right? But what you don't do is you don't get out of the car with a really sharp knife and just go pop the other 3 perfectly good tires, right? You wouldn't do that. That's crazy. So why, when you think about it, we have like 4 meals a day. If we popped breakfast and had, 2 donuts for breakfast, which feels like this bad thing, why then do we just, say like, well, screw it. The rest of the day's ruined too. Guess lunch is going to be, 7 hamburgers and dinner's going to be, takeout of this, that, and the other thing. And I'm going to have an ice cream sundae and I guess a bottle of wine and I'll just start fresh tomorrow, right? Like the mind just goes all the way over there and it just goes to that extreme. And so that analogy right there is supposed to be helpful, right? Don't pop your other 3 perfectly good tires, meaning don't pop your other 3 perfectly good chances to go eat healthy meals that are energizing, that you actually enjoy the taste of and help you feel good. You always have a choice. Every time you feel hunger and you need to go eat is a choice. You don't have to take whatever you did before in the last time you ate, let's say it was a donut, and put it into this meal. Well, I ate a donut before, so now I have to do this. Or I ate a donut before, so what's the point of eating healthy now? That's already happened. It's so far in the past already, it doesn't even matter anymore. We just need to be right here in this present moment and not pop any more tires. Listen to the body's hunger and fullness and try to eat foods that you like the taste of but are still very healthy and help you feel full and satiated without needing tons of more sugar or to give up for the day. All right, and that is your lesson on why you want to let go of that diet mentality of all or nothing extremes and start to notice that your thinking might want you to go pop those other 3 tires, and you don't have to. You actually have a lot of power. You have all the power and control in choosing whether or not to go down that line of thinking to pop the other 3 tires or pop a tire, realize it happened, say, well, that happened, I'm human, and then just get on with your day. Next time you're hungry, eat something healthy. That's all you got to do. All right, that is the end of today's lesson, and I will see you in the next lesson. Have a great day.
Nice, Megan. That was beautiful. I love this. Acceptance, intention. There is so much power to be had in the response of acceptance. Yeah. Oh, we humans. We are so irrational. Which I accept. Okay, moving into today's or this week's healthy habit, which has been to drink more water. And today we're going to aim for 44 ounces of water. Kudos for sipping down that water. We are slowly working our way up to our bigger goal of 65 ounces of water per day. So keep on drinking on. Today's wise words, Megan already told us, which I just loved, so we're going to repeat them again. They're by Michael Neal, who said, "We don't create abundance. Abundance is always present. We create limitations." Okay, get your journal handy. Today's journal prompt is reflecting on that analogy of not popping the other three tires. Once one tire pops, the anger, the fear response, or I should say reaction, is to just go pop the other three tires because fuck it. What's the point? So today on our journal jam is to just think like, how can we respond with acceptance when we fall short of our aspirations and our expectations? What are some things that we can do to pause and respond with acceptance and kindness? Go ahead and hit pause and give yourself a moment to journal on this. Okie dokie. So, para mí, noticing when I am popping my other tires is my biggest challenge. When I can take the seat of awareness and simply observe my irrational behaviors, then I have more control to respond with loving kindness to my imperfections, because I'm not emotionally caught up in my monkey mind or in my feeling soup. So when I am simply observing my behaviors, I feel more spaciousness to question their reasoning. And this objective, accepting perspective allows subtle yet accumulatively big shifts towards health to occur more naturally, with a lot less judgment and a lot less shame. So that's been my approach with this intuitive eating, is to hold it loosely yet seriously, and simply to notice and observe with the broader intention of listening to the body and trusting that it has my best interests in mind towards health. Okie dokie, grooving into today's challenge, which is to create a list of 10 things that you love to do but haven't done in a while. 10 things you love to do but you haven't done in a while. I'm going to do that right now. Okay, so for me, dance, surf, hike, travel, climb a tree, float down a river, go on an artist's date, weight lift, mushroom forage, take a midday nap. I could go for all those today. It'd be a good day. And that wraps up today's intentional session on being acceptance. Thank you so much for your time and your attention and your willingness to join us on this journey of growth when it comes to freedom from our food and doing it in a wonderful community with other people. There's a link in the description if you want to join our private activity feed for this course, so you can see what other people are going through. Also, be seen and held in whatever you're going through. It's beautiful. So link is down there. We'd be delighted for you to join us. Tomorrow, our intention is I am whole. We're whole. Oof. I'm looking forward to that. And I can't wait to see what Megan has in store for us on that day. Until then, I hope you view today from a much more loving, accepting place when it comes to our flawed humanness. It's just how it is. So let's accept it. Right on. Thanks again, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.